Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part 3 of week 3, of Roll for Roll. Where last time our guys decided to head out adventuring to go buy stuff. They felt a little uneasy after learning about the scarab. Placed it back in the home, and Marwin found his pipe that he was looking for. So, continuing forward now, the group has been split up with Victor and Marwin going to go grocery shopping for the home, and Hope, Axton, and Vrax. Correct? Vrax, you're going with them?
Yes.
Okay. Hope,
Yes.
Axton, and Vrax going over to the Mage Guild. So, let's start with Hope, Axton, and Vrax heading out to go to the Mage Guild.
I want the grocery shop.
Alright, sorry.
I don't know what's saving. 2 for 1
Pumpkin's hammer.
All right, come on.
Okay.
We're on limited
Sorry.
time. So, you guys make your way over to the Mage District, and eventually, after asking around where the Mage Guild is, you come up to a guild hall that's located probably about maybe 50 feet away from the tower. There's a rather large tower. It's about the same size as the one that's over in the Tinker's District. And on top, when you look up, you see another airship that's up there. So you make your way over to the guild hall, and there is 2 guards sitting outside. As you approach, one guard holds up his hand and says, excuse me, do you have business here in the Mage Tower? I'm sorry, the Mage Guild? Sorry, I look at the tower and it's quite boring over here.
It's quite alright. Actually, yes, we have questions for... We just... How do you say... We got a home, and there's particular items that we have questions for. Is there anybody that we could talk to?
She's trying to tell you we have a mage guild of our own of sorts.
What's he said?
It doesn't make much sense to me, but please stay right here. And the other guard is sitting next to her. I'll return shortly. And he heads inside, and about 5 minutes 5 minutes go by, and he eventually comes back out and says, Jocko is expecting you in the Great Hall. And he...
Jocko?
Jocko Former. And he opens up the door. Please enter.
Go in.
Alright. So you walk in, and it's fairly open. There's pillars, ceremonial pillars up, probably about 10 in total. And you see in front of you, probably about 50 feet in front of you, is a well-dressed individual, human in nature. He's got short gray hair, and he looks over to you 3 and says, welcome to the Mages Guild. I was told that you came into possession of something magical in nature, and that's what your business is here today?
Actually, yes, a house that
A home.
has... Yes, it's full of magic, and we have...
Whose home did you purchase?
Calvin Marquez?
Calvin Marquis' house?
Marquis, yes.
Yes, we know of Calvin Marquis. He was actually a member here at the Mages Guild. He passed away quite some time ago, and his effects were given to the city of Hellbrook. How did you come in possession of this home?
Well, we actually won it.
Hmm.
We're the ones that killed the boar.
A surprised look on his face. He said, "Would not think that they would give away his establishment. Such a... Anyway. Well, I will tell you this. His effects in his home are magical in detail. And it would be wise to keep them there out of the respect for Calvin Marquis. Although they do not pose any danger, it would do his legacy unjust."
That is no problem. It just... Who is QF?
QF? That's
Mhm.
Quentin Flamel. He paints bizarre pictures, and Calvin was pretty fond of him and his work.
Strange pictures indeed.
And he keeps him... Yeah, he keeps him in that room. Do you know what else he did in that house?
Whatever he was doing in that house is his own business, but we are aware of certain things that happened.
Was he good mage or bad mage?
Well, we all are good mages here.
Just questions, I'm sorry.
Can I make an
Wait.
insight check to see if he's telling the truth?
Sure.
Yeah, I wanna on system that too.
29?
Okay.
Oh, never mind. All yours.
Alright.
Axton, you know what he's telling you is the truth, but you know he's withholding certain information. Whether that is
Okay.
because he doesn't know you, it's kind of a mystery behind it. But for what he's telling you, it's the truth.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What exactly were you here for?
We just want to know if home is dangerous.
The home is not dangerous whatsoever.
As long as we keep our artifacts inside room. Well, for his legacy purposes only.
They
I'm
are
gonna
your
mutter
artifacts
to-
now, and they are whatever you wish to use them for. But I will say this. If any of his belongings become tarnished because of the nature of which you three possess, that would not be good for you.
Curse. So do you know what each item does?
He had several items. Is there any item in particular that you are wondering?
I'm gonna nudge Axton and say, Scarab.
Alright, I kind of lurched for... there was a scarab that seemed mostly of ornamental design, but I'm not a jeweler, but it seemed like it was fairly jewel encrusted. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Yes, the scarab is a possession that he found on one of his adventures. He loved that scarab more deeply than most should. For what it's worth, I don't think that it's sinister at all. It's more ornament in nature, and he found it, I believe he found it past the Black Swamp before... No, it couldn't have been before. I'm not sure exactly where he found it, but I believe it's more south, in a ruin.
Why would a mage have a human hand with 4 fingers.
I can tell you that hand is not human. It's humanoid in nature. My word for that would be to tread lightly to what you say around it.
Okay.
Say around the hand.
Yes.
So this
Wait.
hand has ears.
What are you not
He
telling us?
kind of gives a confused look. The hand has no ears. I do not know you three. You three are not part of the Mages Guild. It is my giving free information out to people who are not part of our guild is very, how do you say, unordinary.
So how does one become a guild member?
As long as you are wizard or sorcerer bound, and go through the trial of becoming part of the Mages Guild.
So only wizard or sorcerer.
Correct.
Vrax is gonna mutter, Marwin teleported once.
That don't count. He know wizard or no.
So, obviously, unfortunately, we're not able to join the guild. Is there any other way that we could persuade you to relinquish more information, prove worth something? Because I recognize that you say that this is not a danger to us, and I appreciate that, but I feel like knowing a little more about these artifacts would help to put all of my companions' minds at rest. I think that the house is great and everything is fine with it, but I know some of them have their reservations, and it's hard to go about your daily business when everybody is worried that something bad's going to happen in the room down the hall.
Vrax now mutters to Hope, it has a teleportation room.
My suggestion and advice for you three who feel at ease, not to feel at ease within the home, would be to let the room remain locked. Do not enter the room. Do not take anything from the room. Do not mutter words within that room. Let it be, and that is all.
All right. Well, we just got one room in the house. We just don't go in anymore, I guess.
Well, should we tell him about that?
You have a beautiful home now. Should rest
True.
easy. Don't dabble too much. But if things were to go awry, we are down the way.
I don't know. Kind of look to Hope and Vrax and thoughts? Anything else you guys want to tell him? Maybe about that thing that Marwin found? Maybe?
I guess we could mention, right? Might as well.
Sure.
So there is a teleportation station that leads to somewhere. Do you know anything about that?
Of course. We put it there.
Oh.
Oh, so you know where it goes.
Absolutely, I know where it goes. And for your own interest, I would say stay away from it.
Oh.
Okay.
I couldn't more agree on that.
Fair enough. Actually, since you do seem to know more about the house than we do, is there anything else we should avoid that you know of?
I'd say stay
areas of the house.
Stay away from the trophy room, and do not go into the cellar. Everything else is fine within the house. I'll tell you what. If you would like to make you feel more at ease, we can send over some acolytes to retrieve the artifacts from your home. It is your home, nonetheless.
Correct. But you did say to keep them in the room.
But it is your home.
True, true. So what do you think? Remove or keep?
I would say for the time being, maybe we just leave things as they are. Things are working fine. Maybe we'll think it over. You know what? We have other companions to consult on this. We should probably get their opinion on it as well.
Vrax takes a little bit of a step back and looks at the mage and just says, "Thank you for your time, mage," and then begins to leave.
He bows.
I bow or a nod towards the mage, and I start leaving, kind of feeling a little frustrated, kind of insulted because I'm not.
You're not
the
allowed in.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's fine.
I kind of, again, thank you again, Jocko, for your time. I appreciate the insight. If we find anything else of interest, I'm sure we'll let you know.
And if you do change your mind, we are here.
Of course. All right, and I will leave.
And he turns and walks out. So we'll flip back over to Victor and Marwin.
Grocery shop.
Grocery time, yeah.
Cue Marwin's theme song.
Yeah, that music box didn't seem bad in nature.
No.
So go ahead and roll. You know what? You guys don't need to roll. What kind of groceries are
I
you
love
looking
rolling.
for? Roll an investigation check then.
Oh, my investigation checks are on point.
I knew it, man. I knew you needed it.
Oh, yep. Except for that one.
God.
Is there a way they could combine?
Well, it takes you to a little bit of time to find the exact grocers that you need, but eventually you come to a couple different shops who sell different grocery supplies. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for?
All right. I look over at Victor. I'm like, okay, what do we need? We need meats, breads, spices, wine.
Oh,
more
plenty of
wine. More wine than that. And what else?
Wine?
And wine? Okay. All right. So are we like outside of the little grocery store, little vendors, or are
Yeah,
we, like,
I mean, you pass by a market and there's
Like
different...
outside?
Yeah, you guys are outside.
perfect. Okay. So we're gonna walk over to one of the vendors,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna kind of like see the first person I see that looks like they work there, and I'm asking, do you work here? Is this your shop
Establishment?
You come up
Good call,
you come up to a bakery, and it's a not an older, like, I guess middle-aged woman, kind of heavier set. She says, "Oh, thank you. Yes, this is my establishment. Welcome. Is there any kind of baking goods that you two fine gentlemen need?"
We actually have a list of items, and I was curious to know if you delivered. If I paid you some extra gold and or extra gold, would you deliver them to our house?
We do provide a service where we deliver fresh goods to your homestead about once a week. Or we
Perfect.
can...
How much is that?
Well, it depends on how many are there living in the home.
I look over at Victor, and kind of like 4, 5. Does
Five?
the dragon count? Does the
Yes,
dragon count?
the dragon counts.
Okay, then
5.
5. Yes, there's 5.
5 it is.
So what I can do for you is 5 loaves of bread a week, unless you need to move it over to 2 weeks, and that would be 1 copper, and if you would like to tip, then that's fine as well. I'm sorry, 1 silver.
1 silver a week?
1 silver a week, yes.
Oh, okay. Now, now I kind of like step back, kind of like into the street and look around. Do I see any other like for meats or spices? Are there any vendors? Because I know like grocery store like vendors like they kind of like stay.
Do you
around
guys want
each
to
other.
role play out every one of these, or do you want to kind of?
I have a list. We have a list. We want it all taken to our house.
Okay, so you want wine?
No, you know what? No, I'm gonna talk to the bread lady. I got this. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Baker. Yes. I have a list of items, and I see that you do not sell all of said items on my list. If I pay you extra, can you arrange to have those items delivered as well as yours?
Sure. I think I can. I think I can handle that for you.
Perfect.
So you
We
hand
got
over
5
the list.
loaves. 5 bread, meat, spices, wine, and wine.
And wine.
And wine.
Do you want pre-made meals as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And
I'm shopping with my stomach right now,
Yeah.
not my mind.
Pre-made meals as in rations? Is that what you're talking about?
No. As in, kind of like a breakfast set. So for each,
The old Blue Apron.
yeah, and it would,
Bento box.
yeah, it would do like a whole day. So like breakfast would be like eggs and bacon, and toast. Lunch would be like a pork sandwich.
Pork
and-
chop sandwiches.
and dinner would be like meat, potato, or stew, or something like that.
And bread
Yes.
lady can do this?
She can arrange it with all
Her
the
name
other.
is Bread Lady.
You never
It's
heard
Marwin's fault.
Bread lady.
it?
Yes, you know what? That sounds incredible.
Okay. Now, how well do you want these meals to be? Do you want to be poor to aristocrat? Is basically like how.
Oh no, we're
how
high
well do you
society
want
over here.
What does Aristocrat get us?
it? It's gonna cost 2 gold
Money-wise.
per person, so 10 gold a day per person to eat, or not per person, for the group to eat a full meal.
Now, if we are not here in town, if we are out doing things,
They're
do they
gonna
still get
deliver it
delivered?
yes.
Oh crap!
That won't fly.
No, that's a lot.
Why don't we?
I mean, you can eat comfortably for 5, 10, 15, 20, 2.5 gold per day.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. And I'm gonna let's see here, for 2.5 gold a day.
Correct. They will deliver food out to you.
Do you want to pay a lump sum for now? Just to-
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pay us up for the month,
Okay.
so that's 75 gold.
75.
Yes.
Says, wonderful. Do you have somebody to prepare these meals for you?
Can someone cook?
I don't. I looked at Victor. I'm like, can you cook?
I can drink.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
You know, you could find somebody to hire for 2 silver a day to cook.
Bread lady knows somebody.
Does bread lady know somebody?
I've got connections all over town, sweetheart.
Perfect. You know what? You are turning into my new favorite person. Is what you're doing.
Oh, you're making me blush.
And I look over at Victor and I'm like, do not tell the dragon I said that.
Not a word.
All right. Yes. Can you arrange to have somebody prepare our meals for us?
I can arrange for somebody to come out to the house for you to interview for a cooking position, yes?
You know what, bread lady? Do you trust this person?
My name is Sharon.
Sharon, I apologize. I'm sorry, Sharon. Sharon,
Sharon
I am Marwin.
Bradley.
I am Marwin, and this is Victor. Now, do you trust said person?
There are multiple people that are trustworthy. But I'll send over a dear friend. How about that?
Perfect. That works. No need for an interview, Sharon. If you trust him, I trust him. That's what being someone's favorite person gets you.
Screw Marin. We're switching over to Bread Lady.
Yeah, Sharon the bread lady.
Sharon's mercenaries.
When will be a
Sharon.
good time for her to start?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow? I look over at Victor. I'm like,
We
tomorrow?
do have the feast tonight.
Yeah.
Well-
So tomorrow would be good, right?
Gwen will be there
Tomorrow.
tomorrow then.
Gwen. Okay, Gwen. Gwen the cook.
And whatever, you know that it's an average of 2 silver a day for somebody to cook for you. So 6 gold a month.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And No, I'll do it then. I was gonna go ahead and give Gwen the cook her 6 gold, but I'll wait till she actually gets there tomorrow, and then I'll give her gold.
Okay.
That'd be best.
Okay.
So now you.
And then I look at Sharon, the bread lady, and I'm like, okay, Miss Sharon, are we good? Are we square? Do we have a deal?
Yes, if you want to pay up front for the entire month, I'll make sure that everything gets to you. I'll set up all the
Absolutely.
arrangements.
And then
for you.
yes, and then I pull in my pouch and I hand her 75 gold, and I kind of like bow and I'm like, thank you very much for all of your help and your courtesies.
Thank you. And she reaches down or she reaches behind her and pulls a loaf of bread and cracks it in half and hands both of you half of bread.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, Sharon.
My
I'm gonna
pleasure, Marwin and Victor. We will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna toss my bread into the bag of holding.
Okay.
They say I'm gonna toss it.
And then I'm gonna open the
Victor out.
drops the bread. I'm gonna kind of tilt my hat, just a nod of thanks, and move along to the next store.
Well, you guys took care of all the shopping right there. She's got to take care of
Yeah,
it. for
we're
you.
done with our shopping.
Yeah.
We don't want to go look around even a little bit anymore.
Yeah,
Like, can we do
Gozirra.
any? Yeah, Gozirra, what's going on?
Because we basically just knocked out our the rest of our day's chores in about 4 minutes, right?
No,
Do you wanna go
it
get
took you
chores?
guys. It took you guys about 30 minutes to get all that done. Because,
30 minutes,
Because you had to find a good place.
and everybody. So everyone else is leaving the mage tower at this point. So
Pretty much.
okay.
So we
can
have
get back.
how much time do we have before they get back?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay. Let's I'll tell you what, Victor. Let's go back to the house, and we will wait for them to get there, and then we will start our feast celebrations early. If you catch my drift.
I do. So we'll head back.
Perfect. Okay, so we turn, and again, I bow to Sharon as I'm walking out, Sharon the bread lady. Thank you so
She
much,
waves.
Sharon, and I wave back, and then we walk out, and we head back to the house.
Okay. So you guys head back over to the house. Do you guys want to do anything in the house before Hope, Axton, and Vrax get there?
I'm gonna open a bottle. And
It hasn't been delivered yet.
we don't have any.
We don't have
No.
any.
Or actually,
It's
I
gonna get
should be
delivered
role-playing
tomorrow.
us.
Do you
No
have-
wine.
No, it'll be here.
What?
It'll be here. Do you have any in your bag?
And I'm just gonna frantically like look in my bag of holding, like, just like where? And there's nothing.
There's no wine.
And then I pull my meerschaum pipe out of my pocket, and I'm like, I have my pipe. It's not wine, but it's my pipe. And
Might I partake?
yes, you may. And then I kind of I kind of load my pipe and strike it and light it.
Inside? You guys are inside.
Yeah. Well, I kind of. Okay, no, I did
I
not.
turned the smoke detectors off. It's okay.
I look out the door and I kind of peek around, and looking around, and I'm like, okay, I don't see them. I don't see the dragon. I don't see anybody. I'm like, you know what? I am already treading on thin ice. Screw it. Yes, here. And so then I light it up, take a couple of puffs, and I hand it to Victor.
So you guys are just hanging out in the foyer.
Yeah, we're
Puffing
in
on
the
your pipe.
entryway of our house smoking my meerschaum pipe right now.
Okay.
And then I hand it over to Victor, and I'm like, here, buddy, this is all for you.
Nice
And-
knowing you guys.
Yeah. And then I'm going to walk around, just kind of like meandering around, like trying to figure out, like just kind of walking around right now. Like letting him enjoy the pipe, and kind of like hollering back to him as I'm walking around, like going into the kitchen, seeing if I forgot anything on the list or anything I can think of at the last minute. That kind of stuff is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the foyer, sitting down with my legs up, just chillaxing, smoking the pipe.
Okay. So while you're going around, Hope, Axton, and Vrax, you guys make it back to the homestead. You walk into the door, and you see Victor with his feet kind of kicked up, smoking on a pipe inside the foyer. And you don't see Marwin.
Seeing this, I immediately move slowly away to the library, away from Hope and Victor.
Really? As I told you not to smoke in the house, you smoke in the house?
And
you didn't tell
At
me.
this point, I peek my head around the corner.
You!
Well, at this point, I peek my head around the corner and look down into the foyer, and I see Hope just giving yelling at Victor with his feet kicked up, and I kind of step out and have this surprised look on my face, and I look over at Victor and I yell at him. I'm like, Victor, I told you not to smoke in the house. I thought you were outside. And I look over at Hope and I'm like, I was in here. He was there. I told him that I got yelled at, and he did it.
I want to do
Marwin,
an insight
roll.
check on him.
Yeah, Marwin, roll deception.
Oh.
Do an insight.
What am I rolling?
Persuasion, right?
Deception.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Deception?
I told you.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Natural 20, baby.
Yeah, she gets a natural 20, so she automatically succeeds
Oh, man.
on it, no matter what you would have rolled. So, Hope,
No matter what I rolled,
no matter what
the
you would have rolled,
22.
if you rolled a 20, it would have been negated. But since Hope rolled a natural 20, Hope, you know that he is lying through his teeth on this.
Marwin. I know you now. I know you to touch items. I know you. Victor, I forgive you for now, but now you know. Marwin, give me your cigarette. Give me your smoke. And give me your pipe.
No,
Right
but
now.
it's the...
Give me.
Before she takes it, I'm gonna take one last deep draw and just say, in his defense, it's an amazing pipe. And I'm gonna hand it.
And then I kind of try to backstep out of the room, and then I just kind of turn and walk out, and I go to my bag that's on the ground in the other room, and I go in there and I get out my bag of tobacco and my matches, and I come back into the entry where I was, which is I'm assuming is 10, 15 feet away from him, and I just kind of drag my feet slowly, walking over to her to give her my tobacco and my matches. And then I kind of walk up to her and I'm like, but I just,
Right now.
and I just kind of just hand them to her and turn around and stomp off.
Boy, this contract sure is interesting. From the library, out of the corner.
Can I pull out the bag of holding and hold it out to her and be like, just throw him in here?
If I put this in the bag of holding, do I trust you?
It's a bag
Actually,
of holding. It'll hold.
Actually, Vrax, do you mind holding the bag you're holding for a while? Please.
I don't see why not.
Okay. Hand me the bag of holding.
And then I'm gonna pretty much do exactly what Marwin did. Like, I'm gonna be like, kind of looking down and drag my feet, and then give the bag to Vrax.
Now, do I need to take these items out of my inventory or leave them in there?
Oh, you take them out of your inventory.
Yeah.
You go into the bag of holding. So now
I'll just
you
do
no
this.
longer have a pipe.
Right now. Until you prove me wrong, I'll keep these right now. And then we'll see.
And then as I'm walking out, I kind of stomp off, and I end up in the library with Axton, and just kind of like look over at him, like, what do you? And kind of look over and like, hey man, like, what are you reading?
Just our contract. Trying to see if what we actually got ourselves into.
How's that going so far?
Honestly, I've just been looking at this paper, just listening to everything, to be completely honest.
Oh yeah. How was that? How was that slideshow right there?
Dude, don't make her mad. I don't know her that well, but don't make her mad.
And I kind of look over and I put my hands up, like, I didn't think you guys would be back that fast. But on a good note, and I kind of like raise my voice so that everybody in the house can hear loudly, mostly aimed at Hope. Me and Victor did get all of the grocery shopping done. We will have 5 loaves of bread, meat, spices, wine, delivered tomorrow with a cook that comes and prepares 3 meals a day. You're welcome.
Sounds good to me.
And then I go over to the bookshelf, and I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna like look at the books on the bookshelf.
Okay. Are there any books you're looking at in particularly, or anything that you want to look at, or anything that piques your interest?
I don't know. I don't know I don't know what's on the bookshelf.
Is there some kind of book that you want to read, or are you just kind of meandering through?
I'm just kind of like meandering right now because I just got scolded like a dog.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like pilfering around and like grabbing at books and like pulling the spines of them, like nah, seeing like looking at the top to see how thick they are, like reaching up and like pulling books, and just kind of like nah, whatever.
Okay. A book that stands out to you is called Mysterious Artifacts and Ancient Wonders.
Mysterious Artifacts and Ancient Wonders. Now, can I reach it from where I am? Because I am.
No,
really
you
short.
need a step stool to get there.
Okay. So I look around, and is there a stool or a
Yeah,
chair?
there's like a swing by ladder.
Oh, perfect.
It comes around.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna walk over and grab the swing by ladder and take it over there and climb up the ladder and go to pull the book.
Okay. So you
To
pull
look
the
at it
book.
because I'm curious about what it is.
The bottom is stuck on there. But when you pull the top of it, it pulls back, and the shelf goes, and the cellar opens up again.
All right, I'm gonna kind of pause and like look back at Axton, like slowly.
This is a different one than the one we went in before?
No, it's the same one.
Oh, it's the same one.
He pulled the same book that you pulled.
Oh, maybe don't go down there again.
And I'm gonna like I kind of still looking back at him, like, what did you guys find out at the mage tower today?
Don't go in the cellar and leave everything in the trophy room in the trophy room. They said it was bad news. Don't mess with it.
Well, why do we have a house if there's 2 rooms we can't even go in our own house?
You know
No,
what?
technically this house was 3,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
so we didn't make the house.
Yeah.
Just forewarning, as do not touch.
But
Vrax starts going up the stairs towards the trophy room.
Okay.
And I'm
So while
with
this is
Vrax
going
as
on, you
well.
see
just kind of
everyone sees Vrax is kind of, or you hear Vrax start making his way upstairs.
Vrax?
I
Are you tired?
I'm still talking to Axton in the library room. I'm like, did they tell you anything about the portal or what's on the other side?
They said they put it here, the Mage
Oh.
Guild, so they know
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
But they said it goes to a place that we do not want to go, as I'm sure you can attest.
I mean, it's a big castle.
True, but they said we don't want to go there. They also said something weird about don't tarnish or say anything weird or like off-putting in the trophy room. I guess apparently some of the little artifacts are, I don't know if they're sentient or whatever it is, but they know when you're saying the wrong thing. I don't know.
Okay,
Hey,
so,
man,
stay out of the trophy room. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, if we leave these shut, we have a nice house that we paid for, and it's in a central part of town. It's got plenty of room. I mean, I'm okay with shutting off 2 rooms to the house to have a nice house that maybe one day we'll go in the other rooms if we feel like it. They said they might be able to come and take the artifacts away, but I don't know if I don't get the best vibe from those guys. If they're really that, like, such a danger, why wouldn't the town have just given them to the Mage Guild as soon as the owner of the house died, rather than leave them there? So they're here for some reason. So I don't know. I didn't get the feeling that they really wanted them, but I also don't get the feeling that we want them to have them. If that makes sense.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk down the ladder and just kind of like nonchalantly, but making it completely obvious, and just kind of like slowly walk down the stairs.
Marwin, no,
Okay.
No,
And
don't do that.
So
I
everybody
keep walking.
see Marwin just kind of head down the
Marwin,
stairs.
are you serious?
I'm just looking. We need to see how big the room is. I need to get an idea for when all of the food
you
gets
come back
delivered.
out.
And I'll be right back. And I walk down all the way down to the bottom.
He comes out of your sight.
I'm still here.
So
You
Victor-
can still
Victor,
hear me. I'm
Hope
still
and
talking.
Axton- Victor's still in the foyer. Hope and Axton are in the library.
Oh, I'm
Vrax.
whistling a song so they know I'm still here. I'm just whistling just some random tune that's in my head. Just so they
Vrax,
can hear me.
What are you doing upstairs?
So while Marwin's down there like egging them on and they're yelling back and forth at each other, I make my way to the trophy room.
Okay.
Do I have any trouble getting into the trophy room?
Do you have the keys on you?
No.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
The trophy room.
You didn't
is
want any of
locked.
the. You didn't want anything. I kept all the keys.
Let's see what I got here. So Vrax gets almost to the door and then goes. And then Vrax starts walking back down the stairs to see what's going on with all the yelling.
Yeah. So by the time you get
And then
downstairs,
at-
you just see Marwin
Yeah.
start to head down the stairs and start to
Yeah.
whistle.
Do we need to tie him down?
Yes!
Something?
Yes, we do. I'm gonna go down there and get him. So I start
I
walking.
I
down
just
there.
like looking at the book like. And I'm just frustrated.
And I'm still whistling a song that you guys can still hear me, but I'm actually I'm just standing at the base of the stairs, like in the archway, I guess it is, what the archway was.
Correct.
And I'm just standing there. I'm just looking around the room, like legitimately, okay, I'm still whistling. You can still hear me. Not doing anything wrong. I'm just kind of actually trying to size up the room and see how big it is, how much will it hold,
Mm-hmm.
if there's any shelving on the wall, because we're gonna have wine, and more wine delivered tomorrow. We gotta have a place to store all of our food. And yeah,
So I'm down there and going
Victor, what are
down
you
there. I see
doing?
him.
Sorry.
I'm still in the library, just kind of leaning up against the bookshelf,
Okay.
watching everything.
Vrax,
kinda
did you head
laughing.
down as well with Hope and Axton?
No. I'm stopping to talk to Axton.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't officially followed them yet. I'm just
Hope, yeah.
flabbergasted.
So Hope, you've made your way down. You see Marwin just hanging out. He's kind of like sizing up. He's not even stepping into the room. He's like looking around. You don't see any shelves on the wall. It's bare bones on the wall. And every time you poke your head into the room, the floor, the circle starts glowing again. And then when you pull your head back, the glow subsides.
What for me?
Yes.
Okay.
And now Hope, you've made it downstairs.
At this point, I'm just kind of like basically I'm playing peekaboo with the portal on the ground. I'm just kind of like peeking my head around the corner. It lights up, and then I go back. And then
So Marwin,
I'm like, yes.
what are you doing down here? What's the purpose?
Well, I was legitimately trying to see how big the room was.
For what?
For the food. We got all this food coming tomorrow, and that was
apparently you don't get what this room is. A secret room. Nobody knows about this room. Food don't go down here. Food goes up in kitchen. Kitchen has storage. That's it.
I kind of dropped my head. I'm like, okay. So
Apparently you don't understand magic.
no, I do not.
So get up there now.
But the portal, I want to
You
know what
already
the
said
wings. I want to know what the wings were from.
Big things bad. No good. Upstairs.
And I kind of sit there. For a minute. I'm just kind of like contemplating, like thinking. Like, obviously, I'm weighing options in my mind right now. And
You needed a leash.
I kind of look up at Hope, and kind of smile, and then I take about 5 or 6 steps back into the portal.
Yeah, it's about 5 steps into the portal.
I step back, and as before my foot crosses the plane, I say, "Don't be mad at me," and then I step into the portal.
So your foot goes onto the portal, and you disappear. Hope, you see Marwin look back at you and say, "Don't be mad at me," and he disappears.
My jaw dropped, and I have no reaction. All I could think is all this memories start popping in my head of my sisters, and knowing that I hate being the middle child.
All right, now I
want
want to try something. I want to use. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Sure, we'll role play it on the other side.
Yeah,
so Hope,
yeah.
You saw him. What do you do?
Duration.
You know what?
I want to try to cast Mage Hand, and try to physically touch the actual portal to see if it'll actually go through.
Let me look that up while Hope does what
Wait.
she does.
Is he in that room right now?
He's
No,
gone.
I'm on the other
He's
side.
gone.
I'm gone.
He went through the portal.
I went through. I stepped back on the portal and said, "Don't be mad at me," and then I stepped onto the portal.
Okay, I'm going to go run back upstairs, and I'm going to say, he did it again. What is wrong with him?
Who found him? Who?
No wonder nobody wanted him in the tavern.
So we close the bookshelf and leave it be. Seems to like it down there, so
And
why?
that was the last we ever saw of Marwin.
Marwin, you can cast Mage Hand. Your Mage Hand goes on top of the portal, and it disappears.
It instantly disappears.
Instantly disappears.
Okay. Okay.
Well, he's got balls.
Does anybody know
I'll say
how
that
old he
much.
is? Is he like, well, no, he's old.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
He's old.
He's just kooky old roly-poly halfling.
Vrax turns to Axton and just says, "Those mages at the Mages Guild. Something's not right with them.
Agreed.
They knew a lot more about this place. than
Oh,
what
I
they
know
told us.
they know a lot.
Yes, but
Apparently they don't know what I am. So.
yeah, they seemed. I don't know. I don't want them to have these artifacts. I know that. That's one thing. I don't necessarily want them. I don't want us to have them either. But I feel like giving them to them is a bad idea. Because again,
Right now, I think one thing we can all agree, well, two, I'm not going to mention the second, is that let's keep door closed. Don't touch
Agreed.
it. Don't even think about it.
Correct.
Second, we might
That-
have to rig something as soon as Marwin gets back. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. So he doesn't go back down there.
yeah, we
Get
just
rid
take
of
the
the
ladder
ladder?
away and all step stools. He can't reach the book.
True. So first, he must come back.
Correct. I'm not going through to get him. He'll have to come back
no.
on his own accord.
I am not. No.
Yeah. You guys are more than welcome to go get him if anybody wants to. I just. Big wings. I've been reading about dragons in a book that fell off this bookshelf. And the mage people, I don't trust them, but they specifically said, don't go there. It's bad. I gotta
Apparently he
believe.
doesn't listen.
Maybe we just need. He's like a kid. Maybe we just tell him, you can go down there. It's really boring, and he'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Oh, you go ahead, tell him because I might. No, I've had sisters. I don't want any more. Ugh. I just walk away. I didn't have to deal with this.
Yes, but Vrax, I agree. We don't. They know more. But if these artifacts were easily given, why wouldn't the town who owns it just turn them all over to the Mages Guild in the first place?
Correct.
They perhaps are keeping them here for safekeeping and keeping an eye on us somehow. I, for one, believe that they don't want us in the trophy room. They don't want us speaking or moving the artifacts except for when they want them. Whatever's on the other side of that portal, I fear we do not want to encounter. However, we had questions for these mages, and they were not reluctant to give us answers.
Yes.
I think there's more to that trophy room
Yeah.
that we could
Perhaps.
probably learn from. I think sealing away secrets and living in fear.
Vrax, I think who we should go to is the person who made the artifacts. The ones who draw or made the paintings. He also made that snow globe. And the snow globe has an enchantment on it.
That's true.
So apparently he might know more about those artifacts before we even touch anything in there again.
But what about Marwin?
What about Mara?
Is
What about him?
Savage.
well, I see. Hope doesn't really care too much.
Eyes on fire, like.
Yeah. I think it'd be best if we go and get him. We're down a man. We need all we can do.
I'll wait here. You go get him.
Or like a quarter of a man.
Aye, but still. And I'm gonna go try and get him.
All right, I'm gonna go because we know the portal doesn't activate until somebody's there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll at least go stand there so the portal lights up. Maybe you can come back through, but I'm not going. I don't take kindly to dragons. Bad experiences. I'm staying right where I am.
Okay.
I mean, assuming it's a dragon at all.
So Victor makes his way down. Axton follows behind him. Hope, Vrax.
Vrax, when he sees Victor
dart off to the chamber, he grunts to himself and follows Victor into it.
Okay. So, Hope, are you staying up top or are you going down there with them?
I'll go down.
Okay. So everyone makes their way down. Victor, Vrax, and Axton kind of stand in the room. Do you follow them into the room?
I'll follow them until it lights up.
Okay. So Victor and Vrax stand just outside the portal. Both of you are going to walk onto the portal.
I'm doing whatever Victor does.
Okay. Then yeah, we'll walk through.
Okay. So Victor takes one step on it, vanishes. Vrax takes one step on, vanishes. Hope and Axton, you are left in the cellar by yourselves. So you appear, and Marwin is standing in front of you, kind of shocked and in awe of, well, I guess I'll just describe the surroundings for you. There is a old ruined castle completely around you. There's grass coming through the floor, and you can kind of see out of a crack that just is from a wall that just looks like it's been torn apart. From outside of the crack, there's maybe 10 or 15 feet worth of grass, and then it turns into sand. And then from the sand, looking further out, dark clouds are billowing over top of it, and you see lightning off in the distance, constantly striking the ground. Pow, 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 pow.
Is there anything else in the room with us, or are we just in a giant open castle room?
It's kind of open.
Okay. I'm gonna look back.
So we're in ruins?
Yeah, you're in ruins. Above you,
castle ruins. Okay.
yeah, above you is a roof, but there's sections of the roof missing, and light.
Yeah.
Light is coming in.
Can I go over to Marwin and just grab him by the back of his clothing
Sure.
and pick him up? Okay.
Do you resist, or you go with him, Marwin?
I resist.
Okay. Roll opposing strength checks.
Oh crap!
Oh no! You know what?
I'm about to say, I'm gonna go help, but I don't think he'll need.
Vrax, I need you to roll, not strength checks. I'm sorry. I want you to roll a athletics, and then Marwin, you can either roll athletics or acrobatics.
Oh no!
So
That's pretty bad.
Vrax,
Yikes.
you go to grab him, and he just
How did
ducks.
I roll?
He just like rolls out of the way and
Where'd
ducks
my
under
dice go?
your hands, and you guys are kind of looking at each other now.
And I tell him, I listen. I kind of look up at him and I tell him, I'm like, wait, just stop. And I look over at Victor and I'm like, just stop. And
you
do
hear,
I hear the flapping?
No, you hear footsteps, large impacting footsteps. Boom, boom, and you hear this.
And I look at both of them and I kind of put my finger in my mouth, like, be quiet. And I'm like, just wait, just don't move, just wait.
And you hear a voice kind of echo through the cavern, and it says, "How did you come to this place?"
I kind of look at Victor and look at Vrax. And then
Can we see what this is?
yeah, can we? I kind of look around to try to find a source of the voice.
Perception. It's hard to tell with the echo inside
Isn't it open?
Well, there is some closed off spaces within this room, and his voice echoes and booms throughout the room. It's hard to tell if he's behind you, to the sides. You can tell he's not on top of you on the roof, and he's not in front of you.
I'll say this again. How did you come to this place?
We mean not to intrude. We are but 3 adventurers that mistakenly happened upon this teleportation device. Where are we?
Mistaken? I think not. If you have come through the portal, you must be allies with Calvin Marquis.
And at this time, you kind of see, when you look up, a blue dragon head peer into one of the openings.
I'm gonna look straight at the dragon and say, Marquis is dead.
I know he's dead. I killed him. How did you come to this place?
And I'm kind of looking at Vrax, and then kind of like a tennis match. Like I'm following the voices. Like Vrax is talking, then the dragon's talking, Vrax is talking.
Vrax kind of smirks at the dragon, and realizing that we're not in a very good situation, being a Dragonborn and seeing this figure is something that is definitely got Vrax looking very serious and stern in the face. And I'm going to not turn, but I'm going to mumble to Victor and Marwin, and I'm just gonna mumble, run.
I would not advise that.
Okay, to DM.
Are
How far
you-
away from the? How far away from the portal are we?
You guys are
standing-wise?
about 10 feet away from the portal.
Okay. Continue.
If you say what you said is true, then you are not allies with Calvin Marquis.
I kind of look over
call
it.
upon you 3.
What were you saying?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over
I
Marwin.
missed it.
Yeah, I was trying to ask a question. I'm sorry. Say it again, please.
I will call upon you 3 if you are not in ally with deceased Calvin Marquis.
We have no association with Marquis other than we are now the owners of his physical belongings.
Do you know who I am?
I'm trying to think of, let's see, did I ever ask Axton about that book he was reading? I can't remember if I did or not in character. I don't think I did.
I don't believe you.
I don't think I did. Who are you?
I am Marwin the Spark.
And what would you call upon us for?
Calvin Marquis has stolen my spark. Retrieve it, and I will make you powerful and rich creatures. If you do not bring back a cylinder containing my spark within a year's time, I will destroy everything you hold dear. Now, make your choice.
I I look up at Vrax and I kind of like look up and ask him like, who is Calvin Marquis?
I shake my head and turn to the dragon and say, we will bring you your spark.
Go. Be gone from my sight. And do not return without my spark.
I back away. I don't turn my back, but I start backing away into the portal.
Okay.
And I look at my two companions and nod to them.
I do the same and take my hands off my weapons and slowly just back away with it.
I kind of follow right next to Vrax and I ask him again. I'm like, who?
I just whisper over him, just shh.
And right before we all step into the portal, I turn to Marwin and I say, ask Hope, she knows. And then step into the portal.
So, poof, you guys disappear. And Hope and Axton, you see your companions reappear right in front of you.
Well,
And I look at Hope and I ask Hope, I'm like, Hope, who is Calvin Marquis?
Really?
oh, this is great.
Really?
Yes,
You
really.
asked that?
Yes, I did. You want
I
me to
just
ask
walk up.
you, or do you want me to ask Mombin the Spark, who we just talked to?
Who?
Did you say Mon?
You talked to somebody?
Yes.
Oh,
it seems
the blue
that
dragon.
the teleportation device we took brought us to essentially the ruins and lair of the Great Blue Dragon. His task in return for essentially letting us travel back intact and not charred to the bone with electricity is that we retrieve his spark artifact that he needs, or he will destroy us and all we know.
So I look over at Hope again and I ask, who is Calvin Marquis?
I'm gonna take my tail and just kind of whack Marwin on the back of the head a little bit.
I kind of
Okay.
like rub my head like, damn it.
That this is his house. When remember the tax collector came and said we're signing over all of Calvin Marquis' estate to you this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. And you had to go back in the portal.
I
And now
will-
you three are in debt to a dragon.
Yeah, I reach over for like a high five to Hope.
No, I look over at Axton. But didn't you read a book about
Monben the Spark.
Dragon? Yes.
Yeah,
Who
one
is
of the-
Monbin the Spark?
He is apparently one of the 4 kings in this book, which makes me think there's 2 other dragons that I haven't read about yet. He was supposedly killed, or so we thought, hence Marin coming down this way. And if you
I
recall...
kind of chuckle. I'm like, nah, he's not dead, man.
Yeah. Well, just harkening back to, I questioned Corbin about the corpse of Calvin, and they said it was charred, and the markings were that of lightning strikes. So I think we know what killed Calvin. It
But
wasn't.
my question would be, they found the body up there, correct?
They found it in the
They
front
found it in the
hallway.
yeah, I was gonna say they found it. I thought.
So
in the
how-
library.
So how did he kill him? If dragon is big and could not fit through portal.
Well, maybe Calvin on death's door came back through and only made it to the front door before he died.
How would the dragon know he was actually dead? I think there's a lot of questions we could have asked a king dragon.
Nope.
We had no time. I apologize.
Well, if you recall, the Mage Tower, they said the Scarab, he found it on an adventure, and is somewhere past the Black Swamp. I want to say there was something about a ruin. Found it in a ruin.
Yeah, he did say ruin.
Does he say a castle ruin, or am I making that up?
No, it was just some kind of ruin.
His spark. He mentioned a cylinder. I do not think it's the same.
Well,
Maybe in the book has something.
I'll keep reading the book, but just throwing it out there, there were 5 pedestals up in the trophy room, and one of them was empty. And he seems to be collecting artifacts. And if he had dealings with this, maybe
So somebody might took Spark.
Maybe. Or it could be here. I don't know. This house is weird. But seems like I've got some... I mean, if anybody else wants to, you know, continue reading the art, you know, our 490-page document of our house, I'll keep reading the book.
I look over at Axton. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the deed to our house can wait.
Damn this house.
We just went through a portal and talked to Monbin the Spark. I think that deed, you can kind of toss it to the side for now.
Well, first I'd like to get out of this area. Go back upstairs, close door, remove stools or ladders.
Well, it sounds like to me we have some sort of cylindrical artifact to find, and also possibly a painter.
Indeed. Also, you guys owe a spark to a dragon. Dragon already pretty much destroyed everything I hold dear, so I think I'm good on that respect, but, yeah.
And they'll do it again if we don't find the spark.
Do we also really want to give a dragon its spark? Do you trust a dragon to keep its word?
How long do you guys have?
We have
A year's time.
We have 1 year.
A year. 1 year to find this. 1 year to get stronger.
The dragon is certainly weakened, but knowing where my kind came from takes more than just taking an artifact to kill a dragon's will to survive and to fight. It is still much too powerful a being for us to try to defeat, even now.
Well, you know what, guys? This sounds ominous, but we're gonna get through this. And you know what? We got a feast coming up in just a little bit, so why don't we just focus on that? We got a boar that we killed, we won, we got this house, which is gonna give us some interesting times together, to say the least. But no reason to be pessimistic about any of this. Gotta keep that optimism going.
We need to find someone who knows more about the spark, or the person that has taken the spark. Perhaps instead of giving it to the dragon, there's a way to manipulate it
Maybe.
against the dragon.
I think anybody that's, and maybe anybody that, if Calvin had anybody else that he knew. He seems to have had dealings. But he also had the Mage Tower build him a teleportation circle to this place. So, I don't know what that's about.
Well, first we need to figure out where Dragon is. What does castle mean? What was the purpose of that castle in the first place? Did it look old? Did it look
It was in ruins.
in ruins?
There was
So we need
sand, there was
Lightning.
destruction, there was lightning, there was billowing clouds in the distance, there was thunder, lightning.
So we need to figure out where that place is.
Make a Victor, Vrax, and Marwin make a perception check for additional information. Okay, Victor, you being a sailor, whenever you came in, the first thing you smelled wasn't the static, static electricity rain. It was salt water. From what you gathered from just smelling it, it's near a shore.
All right. There was one thing about that ruin. It was the smell of the sea. It's unmistakable.
Would explain the sudden change into sand in the distance.
Yes. But I know for a fact that that was a shore. And that castle was on a cliff up on the shore.
Well, you're to find an artifact.
Axton, roll a history check.
Okay. Good, natural one. Nope.
Never mind.
I got nothing, guys. I'm gonna keep reading my book.
Axton, if I remember correctly, when we first met, we went to that. What was that shop?
Oh, wow. Marin's magical materials, you say?
Yeah, you did ask them a question about a dragon, right?
Yes, Marwin was heading to the south. Supposedly a blue dragon was slain, and he was hoping to procure things from potentially arts, I don't know, artifacts or either parts of the dragon. But when he reached there, he realized that, no, the dragon was very much alive.
I wonder if we could send some kind of message to him. Maybe ask him where location is.
We could definitely try if we can
Yeah, I
find
know
some
it'd
way to
take-
send a message there.
Yeah, I know it'll take a bit of time, but that could be one possibility.
Oh, it looks like time is a luxury we do have, at least for a year anyway.
Yeah.
We could also take a trip. I know someone with a ship in town.
I wouldn't go. I'm sorry. There's
I'm gonna-
reasons why I won't go back.
Guess it's just me that's misses the ocean.
I'm gonna turn to Marwin and kind of like just nudge him with my hand down there and look at him and say,
If you went to that portal again, he will eat you.
And I kind of look up at him, look up at Vrax, kind of like confused, and kind of look around and like I'm not really reassured in my words, so I'm kind of like questioning myself as I say it, but I'm like, you're not mad that I went back through and we talked to a blue dragon?
If you go back through that portal, and you manage to even still make it back here, I will eat you.
I kind of shake my head and I say, okay, noted.
So it looks like
I'm making my way back up.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been there.
Are we like
Long
up the
gone out of
stairs
that
into the
basement.
house? Like, let's
Yes,
get out of
and
there.
it's about 11 in the afternoon right now.
Oh, God, this is one hell of a day.
Very long.
Oh,
I want to
God.
close it. I want to close that.
Please.
Don't we have a feast?
Yeah, at dinner
At
time, which is
dinner
like
time.
4 hours,
And
5
we
hours
ate
from...
around
You guys
3 a.m.
woke up
and
at
you
3.
guys, we had our rations at like around 3 a.m. and you
Worst
guys have everything
day
delivered tomorrow.
But at least it's on the way. We
I
have
would
wine.
say everyone roll. Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me look
Give
at
me
skills
something
real
here.
quick.
My brain hurts. I can't handle this much shit. We've been up for 8 hours and look at what's happened.
You and I are safe.
I would
My
say
other party
another.
never got into this.
I guess it would be.
Perception.
And you know what? Everybody roll investigation.
Really hoping you wouldn't say that one.
Yeah. Can I roll deception?
For what?
What are you?
What are you
What are you
trying?
saying?
I just want
Alright.
just so I can get a yeah.
It be for fun, matey.
I just see. Yeah. There was no dragon.
Is that everyone?
Yep.
I got
I have a
18.
9.
Axton,
Axton's the highest.
you gather from what you've heard from Marin, and reading what you did read in the books, that if it seems like these attacks that have been happening from Mombin are because of him missing his spark.
Okay.
So these recent attacks that have strung out is because of that. And you would probably gather that because Marwin's maybe not most intelligent choice of doing things, but it probably has stopped attacks. At least for a year.
Marin's or Marwin's? Oh, Marwin's from. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I mean,
so.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn.
All right. So, talking to Marin, reading what I did in this book, your brief description of your encounter with Monvin lets me think that he's ever since this artifact was taken, he's been on a rampage to try to find it. You guys have since indebted yourselves to him, promising to return this artifact. I feel like that may satiate his rage for the time being, giving everyone a year respite from his attacks and his damage. But if that year passes and we don't return it, more specifically, if you three don't return it, then I guarantee you the threats that he made will come true. I feel like he doesn't know. I know he knows that he's obviously knows stuff about Calvin, knows we showed up, you guys showed up through that portal, so he knows that, I'm assuming he knows to come to God, the name of the town we're in that I can't remember. Hellbrook. So I mean, I don't know, we could leave this town to its destruction, but if he was able to glean any information off of you to know where you're from, I worry what would happen to friends and family of yours. But that is dark and unfortunately extremely foreboding. We'll have this shadow hanging over our head for the next year. But I don't think we can let that just, consume us. There are things we can do. There are people we can find. We can try to find this Quentin, this QF. Just maybe he knows something more. He clearly had dealings with Calvin. Maybe he has some information. I still have more to read in this book. Maybe I can find something else out. I don't know. And again, one thing I think we need to do is make sure that we do not allow the Mage Guild in this house. I do not want them going anywhere near a dragon, making dragon promises. I feel like it's a bad idea. Also, it is 11 a.m. This is ridiculous.
At this point, they notice that Vrax has actually slowly been turning, and he's has his back turned, almost shivering. It seems, just quivering a little bit.
Baxter,
What's wrong?
you right?
The dragon. There was something in him that reminded me of my people, where I come from. I will slay him and I will take his power.
And then Vrax slowly turns and then exits the house.
Okay. Well, he's ambitious. I like his attitude. Is there anything else you guys remember from your trip? Anything maybe that can help us? Anything at all? Did you tell him anything else? Did he ask you anything else?
He, I look over to Axton. All he wants is his spark. That's all he wants.
Yeah, all right. Well,
And then I kind of like slowly start walking out of the room and try to catch up with Vrax. Like check on him.
Okay.
At this point, I'm just outside the house, like looking out into. I'm assuming we could see the sea from
No.
where we're at too.
Not
No.
Not in the Tinker's district.
Okay.
You would have to make
So
your
I'm
way
just
back to the
looking
main
out.
square and then head north from the main square to the docks.
All right. I'm just outside the house and just kind of like looking off into town with my arms crossed.
Okay.
I look to Victor. How are you doing?
I just want to find where he is.
Well, we've still got 6 so hours before this feast happens in our honor for slaying the greatest boar. So, and I kind of pull up one of the chairs and take out that book and plop down and say, I guess I have some reading on Monben to do. Maybe we can find something, anything else about him. Maybe location, I don't know. Maybe even just a name, anything.
Perhaps I'll head into town and see if I can hear something from a fellow sailor or two.
Sounds like a good idea.
I'm gonna start heading outside towards Vrax and Marwin.
Okay. Hope, are you doing anything?
I'm going to look at the books. I'm looking for a ritual book if there's anything like that.
A ritual book?
Yeah, ritual like spells and all that stuff.
Yes, you find theory crafting of magic.
Okay.
And while everyone is splitting off and the mood is in damper, that ends tonight's episode of Roll for Roll. I hope you enjoyed. For all the new viewers, thank you for coming. For all the old viewers, thank you for sticking around as we've done 3 weeks. So tune in next week, next Sunday, as we continue Roll for Roll. So thank you for coming, and you have a wonderful night. Take care. Also,
Bye.
Later.
if you want to stick around,